Following footsteps, unlighted room, feeling the cold, feeling the gloom. Voices are speaking, around any way, bodies unkept, horrible display. Sorry, Joe, I forgot. Got too excited.
I was doing the
I'm
drum
Vinny
roll.
G. Welcome to the Sunday Spin. That's our man, Joe Bruno, right there. Very, very special day here. Without further ado, I'm turning it over to my man, Bruno. Anything exciting going on?
What's up, beautiful people? Colorado, California. No, every freaking state. Hey, Sunday Spin, super awesome edition today. We got, as you can see, we have two special guests today. And Colin, snuck in there at the last second, like a true rock star.
Colin was backstage. It was very exciting for me.
Great to see you. But first off, Joe. Joe is my man. Java Joe Bruno, baby. Or
How you
Pizza
guys?
Joe. Pizza
What's
Joe.
happening? How's it going? Oh yeah, I'm wearing my pizza shirt, dude. Check
See? Bro, we tie it all in on the spin, don't we, Kenny?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wicked shirt. Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Mm-hmm. How's it going? Thank you.
And then Colin over here with the Detroit Pistons, baby. Look at this guy.
Yeah, they're very good this year, you know.
And very hockey themed as well with the laces, I might add. Yeah, very cool.
Looking great, Colin. And look, we're all kind of in our element. I see instruments in every single frame. So that's exciting. And what's really more exciting is just to have you guys on the show. Joe, we've been wanting to have you on for a while. You were on one of the other podcasts on the network. But we want to first of all give a shout out to Stables Media. We're always powered by them. We also want to help give a big shout out to our friends at Grooves Records in San Francisco and the Sexy Astu brothers, always doing their thing at What's Left Records. Go check them out Tuesday through Saturday, 11 through 7. 11 through 7? That's 11 to 7. You guys know
stay the whole time and be there literally 11 through 7, right? I'm sure the guys wouldn't mind.
I'm just tongue-tied. I'm ready to rock and roll. I mean, we got Joe on the show. Colin's in the house. I mean, this is all-star material right here, man. Let's get this party started. I mean, look, I see a marijuana sign right behind you there, right there.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And Joe, what have you been up to, man? Like, wow, it's been a minute.
Yeah, just working, man. Mostly my job as an electrician. That's what I do during the day. But then by night, I am rocking away on this new album with False Report. It's something we've been working on since the pandemic hit. And learning to write remotely during that first half of the year was a challenge, but that was something I think made us into better writers because we were able to I think when you're in a room and you're writing together, there's something like magical about the vibe of being together. But then, someone gives you like a file on your phone and you put that in your computer and then you figure out how to get some shitty drums microphoned and attached and put on there. And then you're sending it back and forth and you're doing revisions. And there was a lot of things we did on songs that we just never did before. So I think and that's what really made it I think what's going to be a well-rounded product. We have 10 songs this time compared to the normal 5 we'd usually do. But basically just been busy with that, man. That's been the grind. We're like wrapping up some minor details right now, but we hit the studio in May, and then hopefully we'll be able to do a single or figure out how we're going to put it out and stuff sometime by August or September, hopefully right in time for maybe things to be back to normal with shows. So that could be cool. That's the plan.
Terrific, Joe. Joe, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned about the vibe and how the vibe has changed. And I really think you explained that very well, painted me a picture. The vibe has changed. The magic that used to happen in rooms happens from a distance now. Preferable?
Exactly.
Absolutely not. Necessary? Yeah, vital.
Yeah.
So I love what you said, Joe. What do you think the checks and balances are of it? What do you miss the most about playing in a room?
So we had like the greater part of the year, we did a lot of this, probably from March till like June and even July, we were doing things remotely, but there in the summer last year, it was kind of nice for a minute. And the practice space in Denver opened back up because it's an hourly rental. So it was affected by the first shutdown. And then I have my space here in the Springs, but I usually go up to Denver and rock with those guys at an hourly rental up there. And when we started bringing the songs that we wrote on our phones and stuff back together, I think like the plus was like, you're walking in a room, you haven't seen everyone in forever, but all of a sudden we know 5 brand new songs that we've never been in the same room to even really talk about, physically. And then we just knew them, and they sounded amazing. It was like this cool thing. It was like bringing your little art project together, from your phone to the real world. And I think there was something really cool, about that. But I definitely do prefer, like, when we're in the room and writing and stuff, it's like, it's definitely, I think it's something that might stick with us, though, in the long run. I think it's something where it's like when we write a song now, even if we write it together in person, we might make like a shitty demo of all of our tracks remotely and be able to reflect on it for like a week before we get together again and be like, that bridge could, I think we could take that part and fucking put it up, it could sound better up here. There's, once you have like this little artwork of a file thing that you can mix and match together, you can find things that would have took way longer for you to realize or find with your original song. So I think there's benefits to both. But definitely, like, we've been practicing in person probably the last couple months, definitely still writing, but now we're in a hybrid mode. Like, for example, we had a song I came and did a track on yesterday in here because it's a song we wrote actually in the beginning of the pandemic, but it was one of the ones that just never got, the center of attention like the others. Like, how it goes. You write a bunch of songs and there's usually like one that you're like, I don't know. That was not our strongest song. And you want to come back to it. And that's what we did. We ended up being like, okay, we're going to rearrange and revise and retry actually this older one. And so that's something we're kind of doing, and being able to have these files and things to send back and forth. Like, all it takes is my guitarist like hitting up the chat and being like, dude, I had this idea. Here's the file. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm going to run to my spot, mic up the drums, and I'll play to it. I'll send it back. And that's kind of a working remote. I think there's perks to it that definitely, and I know there's other musicians who've been like really good at computers and stuff that have done that forever, but for more of us punk rock organic kind of people, is definitely something I think, like, I was like, I'm not very computer smart, but GarageBand and some of these programs is very simple to put it together like that. So I think there's benefits. I think it's something we'll keep around for a long time, especially like in the easy way we've made it for ourselves.
Well, and Joe, I love what you said about, technology and old punk rockers. I mean, nothing could ring truer. When G and I talk about this, inevitably it comes to the bitching about technology and our lack of savvy of it. And we're so lucky, really, to be in touch with so many people like Mr. Estes who can take care of those things for us. In such a fine manner, because we'd be lost. Absolutely. But we're trying and we're learning, right, G?
Absolutely. Yeah. Colin, what's your take on composing on computers? Cause I know that, just like all of us, you've done both. And which I know that you've done some great work on computers too. It's allowed you some freedoms and stuff, I think, as well. Don't you think?
Oh yeah. Thank you for saying that. I mean, I've done both. There's a certain magic with just people in a room together working that way. Of course, that's kind of maybe the preferable way to work, but there's a certain flexibility to doing things remotely. And it's just funny. It struck me. Remember when the first postal service record came out, the Death Cab for Cutie guy and the other guy, I can tell I really prepared for this. Those two guys that I can't remember their names, people just thought it was the most amazing revolutionary thing. Like, what? You made an album long distance through the mail, and now that's all we do anymore out of necessity. So it's kind of funny that we all kind of work that way now, and it was seen as just like such a crazy thing, not all that long ago.
It's so funny, Colin, because the reaction that you gave is Oscar worthy, and we've all seen it. What do you mean your band is in Colorado? Do you have a band or not have a band? Yeah, I've heard that one before. Absolutely. But we've got a band, we've got a label, we've got great people like Colin. We've got Joe with us today. Bruno, how blessed are we?
Pizza Joe, man, are you kidding me? Joe's crushing it over here. I'm so excited to hear the new record, Joe. So what? I'm curious too. Can you give us some insight? Is it a local studio? Or are you guys going to be up in Denver?
It is both. It's a local studio in Denver, I guess. But
Hey.
they are. But the studio is called Black and Bloom, and that is a guy named Chris Fogel, who's from the band The Gamuts, that was from Denver, and he's done bands there like Strung Out and the Bomb Pops. He gets some stuff from like Fat Records. He gets these like cool underground punk bands that come through there, but he's very affordable. I think he only charges like something like $375 a day for tracking for like 8 hours. So I think, I don't know, I guess it depends on pricing and what your preference is. Some people they'll charge by the song, and then some people they'll charge by just hourly rate. Like if you're going to be busy all day there, they'll give you an hourly rate for the day. With us doing 10 songs this time instead of the normal like 5 or 6 we would do, definitely we had to put some money together because it's definitely going to probably be twice as long as what we've done before. Like drums are probably going to take 2 days instead of 1 day, like we could run into that. Same with guitars and vocals. Everything's just, take what we did before and double it. So, but very cool place, man. It's right off of Colfax up there, kind of by, I think it's in the neighborhood near Lost Lake, kind of, but maybe up the road a ways. And it's a cool place. I think I've just been in enough, like, I've been to some amazing studios that are in like, someone's basement, but there's also something nice to going to a place that's actually like a commercial building that's, you got the kind of freedom of like, okay, I'm not like going to walk upstairs and step on somebody's toes or, worry about this or that they got going on. We can just kind of be ourselves, or not be like, I feel like the studios that are always in like the houses are always like limited more with what time frames and what we can do. So going to a place where that's kind of their thing all day, all night, tracking and stuff, that's, for us, that's like the kind of place we wanted to be in for this one. And we also did our first 2 EPs there. So we're familiar with the setup and the place and how the process goes there.
Awesome. So
yeah, and familiarity is always, a huge part of the creative process.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Colin and Greno, you'd both agree with me. It's probably the most important factor. Because let's face it, you can't work where you're not comfortable. You can't create where you're not comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it shows in your work, Joe.
And I'll clarify though, we have done some of our best songs we've done in basement studios too. I'm not like against them, but when we're talking about a situation where we need to get 10 songs tracked versus like 5, and we're talking about spending more time somewhere, that's where the house situation doesn't become as preferable.
Sure.
But so that's the thing with that. Ultimately, it's like a money saving productivity kind of thing that we're focused on with that. And also just for the sake of like, if we did it in a house and there's more limited rules and time, it probably would take a lot longer to do than the time we're going to be able to schedule off work and whatnot to do so many songs. So That's the preference, really, going back to it, because there's amazing basement studios I've seen too, dudes who got like $30,000 fucking badass crazy setups in their parents' basement or their own basement, and it's just like, this is insane. You could produce this here. But yeah. Yeah.
So guys, we have a couple comments, so I want to include our audience always. So first up, we got Tony Grusso, my brother. So that's all of us. He loves all of us. Joe, even though you don't know him, and Colin, you don't know him, but you guys will. Tony's runs the show with the Stables Media, and just a fantastic leader and a wonderful teammate that we love and adore, him and his family. And then he had to double it up with the Endless Summer coming.
That's our man. Yep.
So thank you so much for the little plug there, Tony.
Thank you, brother.
And then last but never least, we got the Joe Madden.
Hello, Joe. Miss you.
Sports
rocking granted today.
This woman slays it every day in the sports realm. Man, she's crushing it. So, Joe, happy Sunday to you. We appreciate our listeners, our viewers, our guests. Oh, my God, look at these guys right here. If you guys didn't know, we're watching the Sunday Spin every Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And the Eastern was very applicable last week because we had my cousin on from Baltimore, Maryland. If you guys have not caught that show, catch the rerun. It's a smoker, just like this one here. Exhale, Joe. It wasn't that perfect timing. But yeah, so check out that show with Skip. It was really good. We can't wait to have him back. But today we're focusing on these two gentlemen right here in front of us. Rock and roll drummer extraordinaire. And you guys at the bottom of the screen, everyone can pay attention. Not you guys, our guests, but Facebook.com/false report band. You can keep up with the band, everything that's going on. I'm sure you guys are live streams and shows. Again, they're about to go into the studio next month. Woot, woot. So we're super excited about everything that's been going on. This is a celebratory day, guys. I'm a little bit more. I mean, I got my Red Cross shirt on too, so you know I'm ready to rock and roll. But man, I'm excited. Vinny, the only question I have for you right now is, did the Padres win?
I really couldn't tell you. Maybe one of our viewers can throw us a box score. I was concentrating on today's show, so
I know. I'm sorry. Get distracted with all the sports gear on too. With Colin here.
Yeah, we got the pods. We're repping. But I would really like to ask Joe and Colin the same question, and it comes from the fact that I am an observer to what goes on in your city, musically, live shows. I get very little from where I am, back home in 6'4". Joe, I'm going to start with you, and then Colin, I would love, your spin on it as well. What do you see as the biggest factor to getting live music 100% on a roll in your city, besides the obvious, the health? What's the next step? Joe, I'll start with you.
So far, like, a lot of bands have been getting into live streams, and there's been a few people who can cater to that, like, that have the capacity to do like cameras and audio. We did one at a church like awesome. three weeks ago. We had a buddy who had he wanted to do these live streams, but he got it set up through a church that actually had like a fucking 8 camera setup with crazy stage background lights and the crazy audio. Like, it was a really well put together production.
You'll find your best PAs at churches. It's really true, Joe.
Well, they got a lot of money. They got a lot of they got a lot of cool toys in those places.
In churches too.
So we did that before. I think in the early days around May, we did one at the Black Sheep when they were doing a series. Right now, so last night I was at the Black Sheep, and right now we still got to have tables and people sitting, wearing masks and whatnot. But there was a live band there last night, and then I guess some rules changed the other day, so technically like they don't have to be as harsh about just 50 people. I don't think they can quite go like fucking 200 or higher, but like I don't think they don't have to freak out about 45, 50 people as much as they could probably slide with 70, 80 if they wanted. So it felt pretty normal last night, just hearing a band through the PA, and like people were there and people were sitting and people were wearing their masks and following the rules. And but it was a step toward normal. Like it was probably the most normal I'd felt in a show setting in a long time. It was weird. You walk in and there's like, oh fuck, there's a band, there's some people. Like I haven't seen that in a long time. So it's been cool. I think going forward, it depends. Colorado's got these rules and things happening that, I think by July, if we're in a better place with vaccinations and overall, I guess, COVID reduction, we could be looking. I mean, they want to have the fucking MLB All-Star game in Denver. So if they do that, I don't see any reason why we can't be at least back to because technically right now the new rule in the springs, I guess, is you could have 100 people with masks but no more distance. You'd like technically don't have to have the tables anymore. Technically. Now, if people are willing, I think everyone's just so traumatized from this thing that we're gonna have to kind of slow roll it out and work our way, kind of just a wait and see approach as it's been for the last year or so. But most people are confident in July. Most people are confident with saying July, August is a good time frame. At least I don't think COVID's ever really going to go away. I don't think it's ever going to be a thing like we can actually manage to get rid of. With we couldn't get everybody on the same page to lock down when we should have. We can't get everyone to get a vaccine. So the best you're going to get is basically enough people getting, as long as the vaccine's available to anyone who wants it. And then, if that's helping in some way, shape, or form, that should get us to a situation where I think we could be back to full capacity. We might still have to wear masks. That might be encouraged. I know, when people drink and shit, some people won't. And that's, it's going to be hard to enforce that. And that's just something we might have to just live with. But if you go out there and want to protect yourself, wearing a mask, being in a crowd, and that's the thing too. It's all going to be about how crowds react to being allowed to go back. Is it going to be crazy packed, or is it going to be just pretty chill? And, a lot of people are still staying home. It'll just depend where we get by July. But everyone's looking at July. Like I don't have a straightforward answer, I guess, to that whole thing. But
I think you answered it very well for me, Joe, and I want to thank you because again, I don't hear out here. Colin, like I said, same question. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like Joe laid it out really well. The thing that I've been curious about is it kind of every state kind of has its own situation and probably its own set of restrictions. So as far as like bigger venues like the Black Sheep, for example, here, or Sunshine Studios, like I'm curious to see how the ball gets rolling again, because obviously you can have local artists in. That's not as big of a deal. And I'm curious to see what the reaction will be as local bands start playing out again, because the really insane thing when the pandemic was really gearing up and the lockdowns were starting is basically you have this whole mechanism of touring bands going to even smaller venues across the country, just a massive amount of moving parts involved on that, and they all stopped at once. And I would be really surprised if it all just restarted at once. Also, I think it'll be kind of grinding back into operation, and there's a lot. I don't know. There is even over a year in. There's still a lot of uncertainty. So I've had a lot of time to think about this question, and I don't have any concrete answers for sure. It's each question leads to more questions, but I'm trying to. I'm optimistic that things will get going better again this year. I've already seen some tentative like touring band dates at different venues. So I'm excited to see how it'll all play out, and hopefully it'll play out nicely.
I'm really glad to hear you say that.
Hello, also.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you know, the cream always rises, Greno, right? I mean, so I'm quite certain we're all going to be working very, very soon. Joe, I want to ask you this. I always like to ask drummers this question. Who's your biggest influence as a rock drummer? Growing up as a kid, maybe somebody you were turned on to recently. But who are your favorites?
I think growing up as a kid, like my dad and my mom and basically anyone who was older at the time was really digging, like they grew up in the 70s and 80s and stuff. So I grew up a lot hearing like Van Halen and like a lot of the hair metal bands, like right of the 80s, but also like people like Led Zeppelin too, and like shit like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and stuff like that. And I think as I've gotten older, I think like in my, like once that progressed and I started drumming as a teenager, I was definitely very just influenced in like what I was into, like what I was hearing beyond what my parents' taste was. And that was a lot of the newer like pop punk bands like Blink-182 and Newfound Glory and like Sum 41. And there was all these cool like skateboarding fucking punk rock bands. And that as a teenager, like that's, I think I went to like a skateboard like tournament thing once, or some kind of expose at a Denver mall when I was like 12 or 13, and they had like a Tribe Called Quest was there, and then like some other I can't remember the name, but some other cool like punk rock band was there, and I just remember like that's where I got a flyer for Warp Tour, and then I went to Warp Tour, and Warp Tour was just like they had the fucking big half pipe skateboarding, and the skateboarding is what got me there. But then it was like the music and just seeing that and being like, damn, dude, like that would be cool. Like this is what I like. This is the world I want to be in. Like trying to play shows and be in this like punk rock community of stuff. And then I think as I got older though, into my 20s and even now into my 30s, like I think a lot of that I got more into like, you know, bands that I did like were still, some fell off the map, but some are still making music, like Weezer. Like Weezer's been a really dope band for a really long time. Like a lot of people kind of write off their newer stuff, but it's really good. Like their last few albums have been really fucking good. And their drummer, and what I liked about their drummer, Pat, is that he, their songs, it's like, I don't know, in punk rock, there's just something about simplicity and not necessarily punk rock. Like you could follow that move all the way back to people like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and stuff in the 60s. And so it's basically, you know, it was about how like, basically like the simplest drum parts are the best drum parts, because if you're, you know, you're not trying to be too flashy and you're not trying to be, but it depends what you're doing. Like, then again, you had things like Neil Peart and Rush, right? Like, and they had crazy technical drumming and stuff, but I was very attracted to like simple, but better, like let the guitar and the vocals do the talking. And that's like what I think the key success to like a good pop rock punk song is.
Spoken like a true team player, I would add. Absolutely.
So I don't have an absolute favorite. I have a lot of people that I like to rip off, but I don't have like a one. There's not necessarily one drummer that I can point to and say that's it. It's more like a spider web of influence of things that I've always like, that have gravitated toward when I listen to a song.
Super answer, Joe. Super. And I love what you said about the combination of your interest in skateboarding and your interest in punk rock.
Yeah.
And the combination of the two, because G and I, coming from where we are, 6'4", we could speak volumes on that. Yeah. And it's so beautiful, really, to me, and I'm sure to G as well, to hear somebody who was in 719 actually identifying with it, Joe. So, I mean, that's music to my ears. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff, cool. Man, on the spin today. Woo! Firing on all cylinders. Wow. So we got a little treat for everybody here coming up in a little bit. We're about 30 minutes in. This is our normal show kind of rhythm, but we're going extra innings today. And with that said, we got some things to talk about. First off, Colin, I just want to thank you for joining us, and Joe obviously is just slaying this show. Joe, we appreciate you so much. We have to give a special thanks to Colin, because Colin just made a video, basically put together a fantastic sequence for the new Skinny Mulligans track called The Endless Summer. And Colin, like, man, how'd you do it? Put it all together. It's like magic to me. I can't do any of that stuff. Video editing illiterate. So.
Yeah, well, thanks. That was a really fun song to do a video to, I have to say. I just started doing this because I didn't know any other way that I was going to have music videos get made of my stuff or my friends' stuff, that kind of thing. So it's not like I have any film school training or anything like that. I just kind of taught myself to edit video on just simple stuff like iMovie. And really, what attracts me to it is you cut to the rhythm of the song, which is something that I can key into being a musician, and just trying to find something that enhances the mood of the song, the themes of the song, that sort of thing. It's kind of like another songwriting endeavor. It's like a non-musical songwriting endeavor or application of that thought process. And I really like this song because it was one thing I've learned is if you want your video to be very exciting, you want a lot of quick cuts and you need a lot of material. And since this was such a kind of blissful track, I could kind of take it easy. So that made it a lot easier to put together. But if any of you guys saw, I did a kind of live stream thing where I edited together a bunch of performance footage and a bunch of public domain video stuff. And I get the public domain stuff from a thing called the Prelinger Archive, which is on archive.org. It's basically just a bunch of public domain video. And since I did my thing, I found they put together a whole new library of like old home video stuff, like 60s and prior. And that stuff is just amazing. It was really something going through that and picking out stuff that worked for this video. I found some of just, there's a bit where somebody, and bear in mind, this is all like amateur film stuff from bygone decades, but there's a sequence where there are these two women like swimming underwater. It's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like,
I know.
Yeah, it was wild. So yeah, this was a really fun thing to do. Thank you guys for asking me to do it, because it was really enjoyable. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything much more revelatory. I guess I will say going through this all the like home video stuff, this home video archive, it's a little surreal because you know that this is like probably deeply personal footage for people, so I just tried my best to be really respectful for that. Like I tried not to, there's some home video from like a dance from the 60s it was really fun, but I put like a big like mosaic effect over it because I was like, that'd be really weird just to have people's faces in there. Like it's that I love the idea of public domain just in general, but it's also weird. You have to think about somebody recording or making artwork for their own reasons, and then having some punk like me comes along decades later and is repurposing it. So just, you know, I just try to stay respectful for it, but it's amazing footage. I felt really lucky to be able to sift through it and use it for something.
Well, Colin, I really want to congratulate you and thank you, obviously, first of all.
No.
But I want to congratulate you because you caught the imagery, not only of the song, but really about what Greno and I have been about. And I love that you mentioned the two women dancing underwater, which is beautiful imagery. But also the band. You know, I love the fact that in any way, shape, or form, that could be the Skinny Mulligans or any of a dozen bands that we grew up with on that stage. So the fact that it is, you know, blotted out and the two gals are dancing and it's a teen club scene, that speaks to us, brother.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can't thank you enough because it's about the best token I've received in a long, long time professionally. And I'm thrilled with it, brother. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, really.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys.
Yeah, and that brings
yet to come.
Back to a question back to Joe. And you guys, I've seen some, you know, live footage, things like that, definitely around town. Is there a way for people to access, you know, because I know you guys did a live stream a couple weeks ago. Is that archived? Is there other ways? Have you guys done videos as well?
So that live stream that we did is archived. It is on YouTube. Look up a channel called For the Love of Locals.
Okay.
And it should be on there. That's the group that puts together those live streams with that place, and they keep it there on YouTube.
Okay.
Shout out to them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep live music alive.
I'll do a little banner real quick on that. For the Love of Locals.
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Hey, Joe, how about shout outs? You got any shout outs to anybody?
Yeah.
You know, shout out to you guys and shout out to everyone. You know, this is cool. Like Colin, I've known not like deeply, but through his work at the Independent, you know, like we've known each other over the years promoting new releases and shows and whatnot. So this is cool.
Yeah.
And then you guys too, like your Skinny Mulligans.
Yes, sir.
That's the song that's dropping here today. Yeah.
Yep.
So shout out to that.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Means a lot.
Yeah. And I guess if I had to, if I kind of think about it though, like shout out to Low Faith, Pout House, who else? Fucking, those are two bands we've played with. Gestalt. There's a lot of people right now I can't think of that we used to play shows a year ago with all the time, and now we can't. Hopefully soon though we're talking about it. We're trying to, like, they told me that bookings are coming in pretty heavy over at the Sheep. So it's like, if you want to even try to do something in July or August, like you should probably be talking to people now to get that figured out. Cause a lot of the bigger, like Live Nation, I heard, has pretty much set July as the month that they're going to start resuming bookings, probably into August. So the bigger acts that got put on hold last year that have had to rebook new dates and stuff, I feel like we might actually have some kind of flood of people coming that, you know, wasn't necessarily the case before. It was a little more sporadic, but yeah, it's happening. Hopefully it's happening. I think bands will come back. We'll all be out there and see everyone again.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite, Joe. Thank you, brother. I couldn't say it any better. Greno.
Oh man,
How lucky are we to have these two with us this evening, huh?
Yeah,
thank you for your time, gentlemen. Yes,
incredible show. Colin, do you have any shout outs? Or Colin, I just want to say great job on the Prodigal Variations.
Oh, thank you.
Live.
Thank you.
DVD box set that I got. No one else got it. I was a one of one, so y'all can be out on eBay. I got it up for over $1,000. But no, man, just all the video work you've been doing is fantastic. All the stuff that you did for Menagerie, the videos, it's all great work. Do you have any shout outs that you would like to give?
Thanks. Let's see. shout out Erin because she's always amazing. I'm gonna shout out Nathan Archer because he has a single that's coming out someday. He keeps fooling with it, but I'm excited for it to come out soon.
He's going to be on the show in 2 weeks.
Oh, excellent!
Wow, intuitive segue there, Colin.
Hey, not bad. Let's see, and shout out Devin Dubnik.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Wow. Man.
Awesome. Hey,
And then
Greno.
we got to do a quick plug, Vinny. We got to do some business here before we play the video. What were you going to say, though, sir? I did not mean to interrupt you.
I just wanted to tell our people out there that Tuesday afternoon, my man's got something special going on. The critically acclaimed Stir the Pot special episode. You're not going to want to miss it. It's a good day to be informed. Greno, love the work you do on that show, brother.
I appreciate you, man. It's going to be an all-star celebrity smokeout. And I do think that there's some folks in the room that are the virtual room that are going to be joining us and some other people. It's going to be a really good time. We're going to celebrate the 420, talk some shit, maybe do a little music even too. I'd love to get some kind of virtual jam going, and looking forward to that. So yeah, you guys can check us out. It'll be Facebook Live, and then the Technicolor Dreams and Stables Media. Oh, but actually, Vinny, no, that's on Zoom, baby. So you guys just check it out on the Technicolor Dreams, and we'll post it later. Actually, we're not going to post that. What am I saying? It's a smoke out. If you didn't get invited, I'm sorry. But send me a direct message. Everyone's invited. It's just
Everyone's invited. Are you kidding?
Right? Everyone's
Right.
invited. But we're doing it on Zoom. We're not doing it on the StreamYard. But yeah, the Bills, Groups Records, San Francisco. You Are Sexy. Hopefully you'll be open soon. Check them out online on Discogs. What's Left Records, San Francisco, Colorado Springs, the Sexy Ostro Brothers, bringing it to you every Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 7. Also, the Anonymous Collective roster, Mr. Colin Estes, Prefab Soul, Skinny Mulligans, the Defunct Menagerie, we still love you, Thurston Ronaldo, Black Hole Kids,
Yeah.
Kelly Leak Experiment. Boy, I'm hot. Anyways, no, this is a fun show. Joe, what a blessing to have you on, man. It's great fun. Joe's going to join us on Tuesday. Hopefully Colin will as well. Vinny G will be in the house as well.
One more thing going on Tuesday, Greno.
Oh, we got the Skinny Mulligans Endless Summer Bandcamp. So you can buy a 3-song single, and then we got the video pumped ready for you guys right now. Who wants to see that video?
I want to see it.
I know I do. All right, so let's see if we can make this happen.
Next week.
Oh, there you go. Joe, come out for us a little bit while we get this
One
video.
more, Joe.
We love you. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
And here's the Skinny Mulligans video, directed by the one and only Colin Estes. Let's see. As long as the computer doesn't break, we should be Gucci, guys. We love you. Thanks for tuning in to Sunday Spin, special edition. Next week, too, we might get some cakes, some strippers. We'll see where it goes. Always at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. Let's see if we can get this video going. Here's a video by the Skinny Mulligans, The Endless Summer, directed by Colin Spike Jones Estes. Let's see if it works. Fingers crossed. Maybe. Maybe not. I try. Oh, it's thinking. It's thinking. All right, guys. No, never dead air on Sunday Spin. We love you guys. We'll be back next week. My computer's doing its thing, and then you guys are going to get gifted to this spectacular video right now, baby.
That was tight, man.
Woo! Wow. Groovy, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sticking around for that special video. Colin, that gets better every time. I love watching that shit.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, we got a comment from our buddy Chris Marsteller from a wonderful band, The Loons. And Chris and I go way back with Vinny, all the way back to high school. So, yeah, Chris says nice on our video. So, Chris, we appreciate your support. And just, man, everybody for tuning in today to the Sunday Spin, a very special episode. Want to thank you two for joining us on this special episode. And we're going to have you guys back, obviously. False Report album's going to be in the works. So we'll check back with Joe here in a few months, definitely. And Colin, you're always welcome. You know that. We'll get you back on as well. Be great to have you do a performance like you and Aaron or something. That would be wonderful. We'd really,
yeah, that'd be fun.
Dig that, man. And just so you guys know, again, Sunday Spin next week, Vinny's birthday special. It's the day after his birthday, but man, send him lots of vinyl because this is Sunday Spin. And then let's see what's up. What else is going on? The week after that, we got Nathan Archer. Week after that is Katie Ketchum. Week after that is Andrea Stone. So it's just stars after stars after stars. So we appreciate you guys, tuning in each and every week to the Spin. My boy Vinny, always over there holding down the third base.
Guys,
got a different guitar behind him every week too.
Yeah. More on that on another episode. Bandcamp Tuesday, right? Skinny Mulligans.
Yes.
Hit the page, please, guys. We need your support. Couldn't do it without you. We love you. Thank you. Peace out.
Love you guys. Yeah, Technicolor Dreams YouTube page. And man, check out False Report and Colin Estes. All right. Rock and roll, guys. We're going to end this for tonight. And everyone go get some dinner. Have a great rest of the weekend. Stay sexy, baby.